going out there, everyone? Happy Saturday. Hope you guys are all doing great. By myself today, so I have to do some of these clicks myself. Oh, there you guys are. Hey, what's up? Okay. Hey, hope everyone's doing well. Let's do this. Most of you usually have guitars during this, so let me do a little rhythm for you guys, and you can kind of improvise or jam over this. I'm going to play in the key of C, so you can play the C blues scale. Just has the root on the 8th fret or the 3rd fret A string. You can play C blues scale, C minor pentatonic. You can play C major pentatonic, or you can play C mixolydian even over it. So I want you guys to jam right now. Here we go. Let's see. Thanks for the first super chat there. Appreciate you. Brad Cooley, Elite Rambo, Bjorn Can Do It, Josh Norco, Rodolfo Erdogan, Thomas Almi, Ahmed, Simo Vita Cannon, Tyler McFarlane, Love Nirvana, Film, Ahmed. Oh, thanks. You guys saw that that first video where I was with Aaron Paulson, a younger um, content creator, music, does drums, guitar, a lot of comedy stuff. We did a clip together, and I was talking about it last week in my live stream about the collab we did, and whoever was watching, I gave some of you guys a little like spoiler on what it was going to be. So let me know in the comments if you saw that. It was really fun. The first one, there's more that's coming out. There's 3 more that we did, but the first one that came out was based on that, like, if you say Bloody Mary 3 times in the mirror in the dark, she'll appear, blah, blah, blah. But instead, it was, if you play Wonderwall in the mirror at 3 in the morning, something will happen. And then I pop up. So that was really fun. It actually did really, really well on Instagram. Chris Compton with the super chat, $20 super chat. Really appreciate that, Chris. By the way, not everyone knows, but a super chat is basically like my tip jar. I don't plug it a lot here, but that was really kind of Chris. And if you do a super chat, usually I think it's designed for people to get their comment noticed or a question noticed. So anyway, thank you for that. Let's see, Luke Richards, another super chat. Eric Shelsey. Let's see. Thank you for all your YouTube lessons. You give the motivation and knowledge to learn again, and I've now joined a band and started solo projects, says Luke Richards. Thank you so much. Eric Shelsey says, do you truly like your Boss amp? Yes, I truly like my Boss amp. I will say I am sponsored by Boss. They don't pay me to say that. The main thing that is part of the sponsorship is with the Boss Katana, we make they actually do the work, but they make patches for different popular songs, and then I teach the song or I show the patch. And, you know, the other thing is a Boss Katana is a really affordable amp. So it's not like, you know, a $2,000 tube amp. Is a vintage tube Blues Junior, does it sound better than a Boss Katana? Yeah, but is it also, you know, 5 times more expensive? Yeah. And does that Blues Junior come with any effects in it? No, the Boss Katana does. So Boss Katana serves its own purpose, which is definitely an entry-level amp, like a bedroom amp. The people that need my content the most are beginners. That's who I, you know, put the most attention onto. Greg Levinson with the super chat, thank you so much. But, you know, Josh Norco with the super chat, thank you, man. Appreciate you, Josh. Appreciate you, Greg. But yeah, so the Boss Katana is in a category that's entry level. So is it going to sound like a Marshall Stack? No. Or a Friedman, or you know, Mesa Boogie? No, but those are thousands of dollars, and a Boss Katana is under $500. And it also has all the Boss effects built into it, plus the patches that I've been making for years now. You know, hundreds of killer sounding patches for people to have fun with it. So I love the Boss Katana, but it's also an entry level. So you can't just say, oh, I love the Boss Katana more than a Marshall Stack that costs a few $1,000s. They're in different categories. The other thing is my signature guitar here, you'll notice, is an Epiphone. Is it as quality as a Gibson ES335? Not quite, but it's pretty darn close. And this is way, you know, 4 times cheaper than the Gibson model. So really, over the last few years, I've tried to cater more to those beginners, and that's who I'm trying to help. So anyway, that's my long answer. Let's see. Boss Mini Amp is good. Yeah. So I was in my daughter's in college, but my son's still in high school, and I went to into his high school yesterday, his film class, but actually all 6 periods of film class in high school yesterday to talk about, you know, working in media and working as a YouTube person or whatever it is. And it was very eye-opening, to say the least. Jonathan Hazlitt, thank you again for that super chat there. Oh yeah, but so I brought my little Boss Katana Mini, which is super light, runs on AA batteries, It totally was loud enough for a class of 40 students, and so yeah, it went really well. It was a little intimidating. It was the most intimidated I've been in a long time because I'm in there in a class of 40 people, but really in each class they're young now, and so like if I, on average a class of 40 people, like maybe like 10 of them knew who I was, and so the other 30 were like classic high schoolers, like bored out of their minds, and I'd try and play a song, and so not all of them really cared, and that was intimidating. Usually, if I'm speaking at a 40-person event, it's because they're there to actually see me, or they know me, or they play guitar. Eric Shelsley, thanks. You purchased a Tone X. Didn't realize you were endorsed too. The Tone X has been cool. That's great. I just want people to enjoy what they enjoy. My sponsors have been really great to me. I think I'm on my 5th year working with Boss. I work with Gibson and Epiphone. I have my own signature guitar. Boss also makes the looper I'm using. They make awesome pedals. They make really great pedals. I feel like because in this day and age with guitar, Luke Richards, thank you. This day and age with the guitar, there's so many boutique pedals and expensive pedals, fancy pedals, all that. The Boss are like one of the original pedals. They get overlooked, and I actually think the Boss pedals are underrated. Like the Blues Driver is amazing. The Looper is definitely my favorite looper that I use, and so that's all Boss as well. So let's see. Yeah, let me know any guitar-related topics that you're interested in. I'm going to show you this little. You could call it an arpeggio. It's a little piece of a run. Hey, would you say that the guitar that Eddie used at the end of his career, Music Man? Yeah, those are great. Music Man, great, make great guitars. And that's another thing that's great about my sponsors, like Gibson and Epiphone. I can say that a Music Man guitar that Eddie Van Halen used is a great guitar. I'm allowed to use my opinion and say things. I can play a Fender guitar in a video if I want. So they've just been really, really wonderful. And then I work with D'Addario, and they've always been the strings I used. So pretty much all the sponsors are stuff I was already using. And because I liked those products already, it was easy to kind of start developing a relationship with them. Okay, so check this out. Like if you're playing a C, the chords of a C blues, like C7, and you're playing the F7 and a G7, there's this little run that you can use for soloing or for rhythm. It's super valuable. And so you find the root. So for C7, I go to the 3rd fret A string. And then I'm going to go up a whole step, but then immediately slide a whole step. So I'm not really wanting to hear. I'm just immediately sliding like this. Then I'm going to, from here, going up this little box, but it's the 5th fret D string. Like that. But we're going to keep going. We're going to go up a whole step. So now the 7th fret D string. And then we're going to go to the root for now, which would be 5th fret G string. And you can mix the chord in there. I'll turn my overdrive off. So you don't have to do the whole thing. You don't have to go. But all those notes are there as an option. So like. When I go to the next chord, the exact same thing works, whether the root's on the A string or the E string. So for F7, and then for the G7 up here, exact same thing. And you can use any little piece of it. Like I said, you don't have to go. create them, use little elements of that. So here's an example of that. So I've got the C7, the F7, and the G7. So that will work when you're improvising solos as well. Now check this out. We're going to add the flat 7 to emphasize that dominant 7, bluesier, funkier kind of sound. Let's go back to that C. So 3rd fret slid up to 7th on the A string, and then 5, 7 on the D, and I had the root on the 5 of the G. But we can add that flat 7 by hitting the 8th fret of the D. And so you could also say it's coming from the Mixolydian mode, but so check it out. It's not the C minor pentatonic, actually. If anything, it's the C major pentatonic, but then now I'm adding the flat 7. So you could say it's C Mixolydian as well. Let's see, but I would want to thank you, Papa Stash, and a couple other channels for teaching me how to play. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Papa Stash, also known as Brett Papa. We actually grew up together. We rode the bus in middle school together. And also, Brett started his whole YouTube life and career as a guest on my very first YouTube channel 17 years ago is when that all started. So thank you for that. Okay, so check this out. Instead of, now I have a new note. And you can add that anytime you want. You don't have to play every single note. So check it out. I'm gonna add some overdrive here. So as you learn more of those notes, you can do them not just in the bass, but you can also do them within the chord rhythm. So let's see, something like this. Wheatley, $2 super chat. Can you play Basket Case by Green Day? Is that? Oh, let's see. So I went into my son's high school yesterday to speak in his film class, but then I stayed for all the other film classes, and it was all 6 periods of high school. So I actually feel like I worked the hardest I have in a long time yesterday because I was standing the whole time for a whole day of high school, class after class after class, speaking about being a YouTuber and stuff like that. But there was a takeaway. One is that each generation that we're going down from play less and less guitar. So boomers play the most guitar. Gen X play almost pretty much just as much. Millennials are still really passionate about guitar, but there's not as many, but they're still really passionate. Then we get down to the Gen Z, and if there was a class of 40 kids yesterday, like there was one class where they were all freshmen in high school, the last class, 6th period, they were all freshmen. It was like an intro to film appreciation or something, which is really cool. There's film classes in high school. But anyway, that class of freshmen, because each class, they said, all right, how many of you play guitar? That class of all freshmen yesterday, when I asked them who plays guitar, raise your hand, 0 hands raised. Also, another takeaway, I've been doing even YouTube I've been doing for 17 years. So, when I taught elementary school music in 2005 to 2008, it was a lot of like, oh, my dad plays guitar, or like, I love Guitar Hero, I want to play guitar. So we'll call that 20 years ago. And now, 20 years later, a lot of it yesterday was like, oh, my grandpa plays guitar. Not even my dad plays guitar now, my grandpa plays guitar. And then, and I just thought of it because someone said play Sharp Dressed Man by ZZ Top. Go crazy about a sharp hat man. Now, here's the thing. The class was just a sliver of that generation. Doesn't mean no Gen Zs are playing guitar. They definitely are, because I just did an event at Gibson Garage, 2 weeks ago, or not even 2 weeks ago, but let's just call it 2 weeks ago. And there's always little kids under whatever the Gen Alpha, whatever the next gen is, below Gen Z. There's little kids showing up and they're ripping. So I know guitar is fine. It's safe. People are always going to play guitar. But I'm watching it less and less. And in fairness, if I had a film class like these kids did yesterday when I was that age, I might not, hot take, I might not have ever picked up a guitar because I always was like a film fanatic and movie fanatic. I even went to college originally for film and movies and then switched to music because it had taken over my life. So if all the digital technology existed when I was in middle school, high school, or elementary school, I probably would not have picked up a guitar, and we would all be missing out on that. Doorstep Colt, what's your favorite dead jam? Well, anything that's like Mixolydian I love, but I also love Eyes of the World, which is not Mixolydian. But the cool thing about the Dead stuff is that he would kind of get modal. Wasn't just always pentatonic, and he also mixed the different genres and scales and tones and everything. Jerry mixed it really well. A couple, but like, let's see, Scarlet Begonias. Scarlet Begonias is B Mixolydian. And also, Fire on the Mountain is B Mixolydian. So I guess Jerry had a favorite scale, didn't he? But so, Mixolydian's usually identified by major chords a whole step apart. So like B major, A major, and E major. So let's see. It's B Mixolydian, but he would go like... Check him out. So from there, Jack's saying the link isn't working, so we can check that link again. But if you're talking about the link for my amazing chord and scale book with arpeggios and triads, Jack, I see your all caps there. You can really, Jack, real easy. Yeah, you can try it again. The link is pinned there again. But if not, go to martymusic.com, and if you just scroll through martymusic.com, you'll see links for the free chord and scale book with the triads and arpeggios as well, and it's totally free. All the pentatonic scale, major scale, chords, bar chords, everything's in there. It's very comprehensive and totally free. You can get that, but then also there's a bunch of free courses at martymusic.com as well that you can search around, and there's definitely will be a topic that you can be interested in. There's a bar chords course, a power chords course, acoustic embellishments, essential licks, which I really love. And it's all got tabs, and it's all free. So go to martymusic.com, anyone, and go get one of those free courses, get the free chord and scale book. It'll help you get better at guitar a lot quicker than just watching YouTube videos. So check all that out. Jack, let me know you got it. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, so here's that B Mixolydian. Formula Haunts, why do you like using the Gibson ES335 so much? Well, it's always been my favorite guitar, but on top of that, the one I'm using here is an Epiphone ES335, which is part of Gibson. But you can see my logo right there. This is my Marty Schwartz signature series ES335. So what guitar player wouldn't want to play his own signature guitar with the biggest guitar company in the world, the biggest and best guitar company, Gibson, Epiphone, Kramer, now Mesa Boogie. What guitar player wouldn't want to use their own signature guitar all the time? From pride, and also that they designed it for their own specifications. Who wouldn't play their own signature guitar all the time out of the fact that they designed it? They're proud of it. It's the best company. It's their favorite kind of guitar anyway, and they got to pick everything out. By the way, I don't know if you know, it's actually red 335 also because of Back to the Future, um, which was got one of the best guitar scenes in a movie anywhere. And my name's Marty. I wasn't named after Marty McFly though, because I'm actually older than the movie Back to the Future. I've been around longer. But it was really exciting to have a big popular movie where the main character had the same name as me, because up until that point there was no famous Marty characters in any movie. So that was actually a really fun thrill as well. I was in 5th grade, I think. I think I was in 5th grade when Back to the Future came out. And I saw it more than once in the theater. And it's a great movie. I'm messing with this mic, and I don't really even need to, but... Alright, so speaking of that, loop. You might not be ready for that one, but your parents are going to love it. I hate the... you guys have probably all seen it, but like if Back to the Future happened today, he would be going back in time to 1995. Which actually, that'd be a fun movie, because it would be like Nirvana would have taken over, and grunge would be really big. You know, I don't know, the world might have been a little better. I don't know, that could be something you could argue. I think it probably was, but I was having a lot of fun in 1995. I was in college. I had a band. I was just obsessed with guitar, learning and learning really quick and excelling at improving. Um, let's see. Michael Marula says guitar is oldies music. Yeah, I was in my son's high school yesterday, as I was saying earlier, and the class that was all freshmen. I mean, they didn't even know AC/DC. They didn't really even know like Smoke on the Water. And I'm not. That's not every single kid that's like 13 or 14 years old, but the class yesterday was completely foreign in their knowledge of all things guitar. Um, so it was like insightful. I won't say depressing, but maybe a hair. Maybe it depressed me for a split second. And there were like still kids that like really like Kanye West, which is kind of insane. That they were like comfortable saying that they liked Kanye West in class. That was really weird to me. I didn't get into it. David Vela says, playing God Polyphia. David Vela again says, playing God Polyphia. Are you going to say it a third time or a fourth time? Um, Vincent O'Connor says, Marty, I'm sure you hear it constantly, but I wouldn't be playing guitar at my level if not for you. Well, thank you, Vincent. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thomas Swanton, Dire Straits, Money for Nothing. I did a lesson on Money for Nothing, and because I'm not, Mark Knopfler, he developed his own style over many years where he's using his thumb and index finger, and it evolved over, a huge amount of time, right? So when someone else tries to play it and they don't have that natural thumb and index finger style that he developed over, 20 years, when I go to try and teach it, I get really close, but it's not going to feel as natural. So I think I did a really solid lesson on it, but I have to watch my own lesson again to kind of practice it again, to just like bust into that. Gordon McNally with the super chat, which is like tipping me. Thank you. He says, thanks for being my guitar dad. Is that what you said? Yeah, guitar dad. I'm happy to be your guitar dad, son. Now, CVRT says, can we please get a part 2 to 1? I did that a couple months ago, and you didn't see it. I already did that. So, and a lot of people were asking for it over a couple of years, and then I finally did it, and it didn't do that well. So sometimes that's I guess a lesson of the vocal minority being louder than the silent majority. And also YouTube has changed where, I'm about to hit 4.5 million subscribers. Thank you very much. And, if I had 4.5 million subscribers 15 years ago, I'd make a new video and 4.5 million people would be notified of that new video. And nowadays, no one is being notified. And that's YouTube taking the power out of the content creator's hand and taking the power themselves and switching to a in-your-feed algorithm-based delivery method. And the sad part about that is, all these YouTubers have worked for years developing their following and trying to get subscribers, so those subscribers would be notified, and now that doesn't exist anymore. Subscribers don't even don't even do that much. But it's still important, but it's not the same thing. But one of the things with the in-your-feed delivery method and YouTube using their algorithm to decide what to feed to you, what's a bummer about that is that that's based on what's going to make them the most money. And sadly, with the internet, what's going to make them the most money is stuff that's like typically more negative based or more controversial, where people are going to argue with each other. So like political BS, just stuff that's just not as positive of an impact on the world, and that's really a bummer. That's really my opinion on that, what I've noticed. So I hate that. I can't do anything about it. I'm gonna just keep going with hopefully helping people enjoy their lives with guitar. I remind someone of Adam from Counting Crows. Round here, yeah. How's that? Um, yeah. Eric Reed, super chat. Thank you for saving for. Thank you saving for a Gibson. You taught me a lot. Thank you so much. Uh, Marcel says, "Can you play Enter Sandman?" Um, can using a looper help in learning guitar? Oliver Cross. Yes, using a looper is one of the most valuable tools that you can do for getting better at guitar. Um, there's so many reasons why, but one, if you're trying to work on soloing, you can create your own rhythm backing track. But two, to create your own rhythm track, you need to be solid at rhythm playing. So looper is going to help you with your soloing, but to make a good rhythm track, you have to get better at your rhythm. So both of those things fall right into why a looper is such a valuable tool. Not only that, if you go to martymusic.com, my website, martymusic.com, and you go through the free courses, there's actually a free how to use a looper course that used to come with my looper. I used to have a looper that I sold. They sold out. It was like during the pandemic. Then I started working with Boss, and it was harder to make more loopers because of the pandemic. There's so many reasons why I stopped doing it. But that looper course still exists, and the concepts will work pretty much with any looper. So go over to martymusic.com, get some of the other free courses, or my free chord and scale book as well. But you can go get the free looper course, which is super valuable, super helpful. And Alex Holden has my signed looper. That's awesome. That's it's a collector's item now. Killer Kitty says, "How do I make my guitar sound like it's a crying cat?" Huh. Well, bending. Pinch harmonic. I think maybe you're referring to like a dive bar too, like a whammy bar. But bending is really where that emotional crying, whether it's a cat or a human or a baby or whatever, the bending is where you get that. Anthony Carvey says, on a scale of 1 to 10, difficulty of Pride and Joy. I mean, I'd say to play it really accurate, I think it's pretty difficult. You know, Stevie Ray Vaughan is one of the masters. I mean, it's a style, though, so if you play like the one guy that was requesting Polyphia, if you're into Polyphia, Pride and Joy is going to be impossible. And if you're super into Stevie Ray Vaughan and you've worked for years on that style, playing Polyphia is going to be impossible. So it's kind of also where you come from, you know. Let's see. Just wanted to thank me. Playing guitar on Layla. Getting notifications here. Oh, it's too loud in here was the notification I got. I don't use the thumb much in muting while soloing. Do you mute with your palm? Well, my thumb's holding the pick. And yeah, I mean, the base of my thumb is muting the thicker strings there. Thumb is definitely muting the lower strings and just kind of blocking it. Someone was Sales of Sharon. No, I don't know that one. The thumb in the fretting hand, like over the neck, like that. Well, my hands are not that big, So the thumb, like Hendrix John Mayer thumb thing, is not comfortable for me just because of the size of my hands. When you're soloing, it is my right hand, so I don't have to worry about muting while soloing like that, because my right hand's muting what I don't want. So if I'm bending that G string, my thumb's resting, and that's really more the base of my thumb is resting there to hit that. You can't hear my speaking voice very well. That's just because I'm going right from the phone. So just do your best to hear it, because the more complex I make these things, the more looks like I'm freezing there. Oh no. The more I add to the mix, the more complications there usually are with the streams. Like if I add like a mixer and a camera and a switcher, because I've tried all these different ways to do it, and there tends to be more buffering and more issues the more gear that I add. So when I do these live streams, I really just like to use the phone as is, because it just usually crap goes wrong. So just do your best to hear me. Can you hit metal with a katana? Can you hit metal with a katana? Night Moves, Dawson Clark. Metal? I mean, you get a decent metal sound. I don't know. So you need a lot of someone said, how do you get that sound? That's an overdrive, distortion. I'm using this very affordable entry-level amp, Boss Katana. I went up to the brown sound and switched to the British setting, and that's how you get that. That's a little trait of Metallica that they do in more than one song, is when they have a riff, they'll play another section where they move it up a whole step. So if you have same notes, right? But it looks, the technique can be seen easier right here. So that was just the exact same riff up a whole step. You gotta finger it differently because you don't have any open strings. Little tidbit, like in Master of Puppets, they do that too. Like, what is it? too. So that is the thing they do. And I'm not good at playing Metallica, but that is something they do. Lit with the super chat. Thanks, Marty. You taught me everything I know. Well, thank you so much. Mrs. Holton. You taught me how to play guitar growing up. Well, thank you so much. That's actually something I enjoy these days, is meeting people who are full-grown adults, sometimes like with their own kids and all that stuff. So I've been doing this long enough, 17 years, but we could round it up to 20 years of making YouTube videos, helping people learn guitar. So that means like I see full-grown adults who play guitar and say that they watched me when they were a little kid. And that's a thrill. You know, of course, yeah, it's like, oh, I see even in this video right now, my beard is very gray. I turned 50 recently, which I like to talk about. But yeah, my beard's very gray. And then you see old videos of me and I don't have one gray hair. So I've met, now, you know, when you were a little kid 20 years ago, I couldn't have met you because you were a little kid. I mean, you didn't have that freedom and autonomy to be your own person or an adult. So now that you're an adult, it's been a real thrill. This kind of, you know, there's ups and downs of what's going on with YouTube and all that. But to be out and meet full-grown adults that watch me when they're little kids is definitely an amazing feeling. To kind of teach a generation to play guitar is amazing. And then to watch the new crop of people that are still kind of young, like Grace Bowers is just doing an amazing job out there, carrying the torch of guitar playing. And, you know, she watched my videos. I just did a funk video, so please, you guys, you know, I could use the support on the YouTube channel. So the latest the long form videos are just doing less and less. Because everything's shorts, TikToks, all that, which I'm doing that too, and those are doing fine. But one of my long form videos from yesterday was with the guitar player from a new band that you guys, if you haven't checked out, check out. High Fade from Scotland. High Fade, the guitarist Harry Valentino. Fantastic band, fantastic guitar player. They're kind of funk, but they do a lot more than funk. They do like rock, punk, metal, but very funk. It's almost like if Corey Wong met AC/DC or something like that. Because it's definitely got some of that precise Corey Wong, high-speed energy, high-energy funk, but then also they'll get like heavy. They never do too long of guitar solos, which I love. And I'm a guitar player, but like those really short, concise guitar solos are a lot more powerful, by the way, for the guitar players out there. If you don't know that, it's a little secret. Make your solos short and impactful instead of too long, and you'll leave people wanting more. It makes a bigger impact. So check out the new video though, High Fade. It's like a funk lesson, but it's my latest long form on the YouTube channel, Marty Music. Check that out. Van Halen Dance the Night Away. I have a new patch for that. And in one of my shorts, you can go check that out. pretty much wrapped up here, folks. But don't forget, you can see the pinned comment here, but you can go to martymusic.com as well if you need to. And I've got a free chord and scale book that is really, really helpful. It's not just like a short little thing. It's the whole foundation of guitar playing in there. So it's got the chord diagrams in the order that you should learn them, I think, including it's got the bar chords, dominant 7 chords in there. It's got the pentatonic shapes that you need, the pentatonic runs. It's also got the major scale, which is the basis for all the modes in there. But also, it's got the triads. The first triads you should learn is in that book. And then also the foundational arpeggios are in that book as well. And it's all totally free. So check out that pinned link. And if the link's not working, someone said the link wasn't working. But if the link doesn't work for you, you can go to martymusic.com and get that free chord and scale book. But then not only that, I have a bunch of free courses there that are all the, the main topics that you need to get going on guitar, and it's totally free. I mean, I have premium paid courses as well. That's how I make my living. But a bunch of free stuff that can help you, like if you're trying to learn bar chords, I've got it for free. If you're trying to learn power chords, the whole thing is in there for free. If you just want to build up your vocabulary of licks, I've got essential licks, which are kind of like all those great licks to get your soloing going. So I've got that as well. And that's all at martymusic.com. I think tomorrow I'll hit 4.5 million subscribers. Subscribers have never been less important on YouTube because clearly 4.5 million people are not being notified when I make a new video. So thanks a lot, YouTube. Dave First says, your paid courses are excellent. I work with them every day. Dave First, thank you so much. Appreciate that. You help me make that quarterly payment for my daughter's college. So thank you so much. And my mortgage. And my health insurance. So thank you so much. A couple shout outs. Dave First, Jonathan Hazlitt. You said, can you play some of those licks? Essential licks would be stuff like, or stuff like that, or stuff like that. Or all right, some shout outs and then we're done, people. We're done. Ashley Phillips, thank you. Guitar Guts, Network Nukes, Guitar Guts again, Ziggy, Eric Coffey, thank you. Jonathan Hazlitt, Siri Rosenquist, Kubrick Lover 72, Michael Marullo, We Got the Fish Dude, Ashley Phillips again, thank you. Yeah, Just Me, 121 Music for Life. Marty, I've heard Axl Rose is a fan. Is that a joke? Elaborate, please. Ozzy Farrow, Andy Gatterman, Ross Rayner, Caleb Fusco, Greg Levinson, thank you so much. D, Thomas Swanton, RSL Randyman, thank you so much. Charlie Burke, Miko Zarfati, Oliver Cross, Kim Barty, Kathy G, always, thank you so much. Full of Boogers with the super chat. Get those out, man. Pick a winner. He says, or they say, thank you for all you do. Your videos have definitely had a positive influence on my life. That is the best compliment I could get. Thank you so, so much. I was saying earlier, I meet full-grown adults that say they watched me when they were a little kid, which there's so many cool things about that. But one cool thing about that is when I first started doing YouTube as just this kind of like Wild West, didn't know what I was doing, you know, if someone would have told me back then that 17 years later I would still be doing that, I would never have believed you. But I'm so grateful for you guys out there, all you people out there. I'm grateful to you. I've had the best career that I hope will keep going, but I've had the best career ever because of you guys. Um, Ozzy Furrow, have you done the Who? Maths Riley, Bob O'Reilly, maybe you mean? Uh, Kubrick Lover. I'd still like to do some covers. Scar Tissue intro. The Scar Tissue intro, which I don't remember right now, but that it's the same little shapes as Blackbird, which is pretty cool because they're not the same song at all, but they use the same chord shapes and same key, everything. Very cool. Check it out. Um, let's see. George Harrison. Any George Harrison's good with me. Um, Michael Marullo, thank you. Jason Pancake, the Crazy Train solo. Yeah, I've never done that. Jason Phelps, the Penguin Engineer, Nicholas Cordova. New player of the acoustic guitar. What are some tips you can give me? You want to learn the chords in the right order of their difficulty. So like E minor, A sus2, and then E minor can become A major. I mean, E sus2 can be A major. The easy G major, which I call the cheater G, the cheater G. Then eventually that can become G major, D major. So those first, then A minor. Then from there, you start to get C and F can be a little more challenging, but get those others first. And just that alone, you can play millions of songs. So then you want to start playing songs. Knocking on Heaven's Door. Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Hey Joe. Million more songs, all with open chords. Hey, Let It Be. If you didn't know, Let It Be and No Woman, No Cry are the same song. Same song. All right, one more jam, and then we're out of here, folks. But thank you so much for the continued support. Go to martymusic.com, pick out a free course, get that free chord and scale book, and hopefully you guys, you know, go subscribe to the channel. Click, you probably already have, but, you know, watch some of my newer videos, leave some comments, request some stuff, and I ain't going anywhere. All right, speaking of the Beatles, let's see. One of my favorite Beatles jams. Here we go. Thanks, Ashley. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Thank you for your support, continued support. We'll see you later. Adios. Bye-bye. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.